So we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to our webinar about online presence. My name is Brenna Johnson. I'm the Youth and Family Programs Director for AHA. And joining us tonight is Lindsay Rinehart. She's gonna be our presenter and talk to us. We're gonna go through our presentation, and then at the end, we'll open it up for questions and discussion. If at any time you guys do want to actually talk, you can just ask to be unmuted, or you can drop your questions in the Q&A below. So let us know if you have any questions, and I will turn it over to Lindsay for her presentation.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Brenna. And thank you, everyone. I am so grateful and excited to be here. I have been a lifelong Arabian horse lover, found the Arabian horse by destiny, been involved for 30 years. I'm a judge, a breeder, been a showman. So I am so excited today to present this to you. I do have some slides. And today we're going to talk about the online presence, visibility, and how we can hopefully significantly reach more people through the power of digital presence, because it is such a powerful thing. So I'm going to share my screen, and I've got a fun little presentation for you today. And then we welcome your questions. We want to hear from you, and I would love to answer what you're curious about. So please don't be shy. Please express yourself, and let's work together to make this Arabian horse the best it can be. So first, what I want to do is dive into marketing. So what is marketing? Think of marketing as the bridge that connects new people to our industry and keeps current members engaged. So right now it's dinner time for most of us. So I want you to imagine a restaurant. The chef makes delicious meals, the tables are set, and the staff is ready, but no one walks in. Why? Well, maybe that's because they didn't tell anyone they were open. Or maybe they put up a sign, but it was hidden on a quiet street where no one saw it. Or maybe imagine the opposite, where the restaurant advertised like crazy, but when people showed up, the food was cold, the service bad. They came once, but they're never going to come again. And so the truth about marketing is it's about getting new customers in the door, but it is also about creating an experience that makes people stay, return, and tell others. So when we're talking about the digital space, your digital world, your website is like the restaurant. That's where people can explore your menu, events, opportunities that you have to offer. And that's where social media then is the sign out front. It's the sign that's catching their attention. It sparks curiosity, invites people in. And in our case, the product is the Arabian horse. So marketing ensures people find it, love it, and keep coming back. Before we dive deeper into all that, I want to talk now about what is a brand. So probably all of you here have heard of the word brand, but a brand is not just a logo, a color scheme. It's not a tagline. A brand is the identity, reputation, and emotional connection that people have. It's bigger. It's more than just that logo. So think back to the restaurant, the sign, the menu, those are visuals. The atmosphere and service, those are the personality. The way the customer describes it all afterwards, that's the reputation. And the feeling they have while they're there, that's the experience. All of that is brand. So for clubs, farms, branding is the same. So you've got multiple pieces to that. You've got your visuals, your logo, website, social media look and feel, your voice, how you sound, your professional, fun, welcoming, your values. What do you stand for? Your community, education, the excitement that you're bringing, that experience. What does it feel like to join your club, to attend the event or horse show? And then that reputation, what do people say about you to others? Branding is not just how you look, it's how you're remembered. And that is so, so important to the success of the product. So now, you guys, I want to layer in talking about audiences. Okay, so just like the restaurant, they have regulars. That is your internal audience. So they already know the menu. They already love the food. They just need to hear about the specials, those upcoming events, reminders, ways to stay engaged. And then there are new diners or newcomers. That's the external audience. They've never heard of you. They don't know the menu or the atmosphere. They don't know that your food is better than the chain down the road. They need an invitation, and they need a great experience so that they become repeat customers. One of the biggest mistakes that we make in the horse marketing is speaking to both of those groups the same way, because regulars and newcomers need different messages and different languages. So here's the million-dollar question. How do we attract newcomers? Well, let's talk about it. This is where social media and interest targeting come into play. So interest targets are categories and topics that people already engage with online. So it's the things they search for, watch, follow. This is where we can align the Arabian horse with what people already care about. And I want to show you an example. So the top online interests for women today are fashion, fitness, travel, beauty, wellness, and pets. And the searches online for these topics are millions upon millions, and that's just for women and just for these 6 areas. That's crazy. But what's really fun is that the Arabian horse aligns with every single one of these. So you've got fitness, wellness, right? Riding lessons, exercise, mindfulness. Horses provide emotional balance and joy. Fashion. Arabian attire is stunning. It's elegant. It's unique. Travel. Literally, horse shows and events are happening around the globe. And pet and companion. The Arabian horse is the most loving and personable horse of any breed. And all of us here tonight, we know that. And people are already searching for these things online. We just have to show them how the Arabian horse fits. So that's thinking outside the box. And there are millions of people around the world with an online target interest in Arabian horses. Literally, on Facebook alone, there are over 6 million people in the US who have a target interest in the Arabian horse. And that is incredible. So I want to talk now about your digital presence and how we can start to piece this together. So the first part is your website. So I want you to think of your website as your quote unquote digital restaurant. So it must be fresh. It needs to have update events. It needs to have, if you're a club, provide a list of regional trainers and lesson programs. Your site needs to be clear, and it needs to be clear about why, and more importantly, how do you join? That needs to be front and center. Your website needs to be filled with current photos, and we want photos and we want energy on there that's sharing the fun, the enjoyment. That's going to be your first glance into the world that you're offering, and it needs to be a first impression. Your site needs to be easy to navigate. It needs to have working and updated links. That is so important, because if your website is outdated, it's like serving stale food. People won't come back, and they're definitely not going to go the next step. Then the second part to here is social media. So once your website is ready, it's time to put all of that into your digital sign, the sign that's going to point to your website. That is literally social media. And the type of page that you're using matters. So for Facebook example, your club's page must be a business public page, not a profile. there is a difference. So profiles, they have limited outreach. They give you almost no ability to reach new people. They don't give you a very good ability to run ads. Whereas a business page, it unlocks a lot of tools. So on a business page, you will have analytic access. It'll give you options to boost posts, do targeted ads. It gives you the ability to reach new people who are not already following you, and that is really powerful. So again, with the reference of the restaurant, I want you to think of this. So running your club or farm from a profile is like running your restaurant out of a garage. Only your friends and family are going to know that you exist. If you are running your club or farm as a business page, it's like being on Main Street where anyone can walk in. And that's really important. Now I want to touch base on point 3 here, and I want to move to talking about posts and ads. So here's where most clubs and farms get it wrong. They don't realize that there is a very big difference between posts, boosted posts, and ads. And all of that is necessary, but for different reasons. So posts are like talking to your regulars. Okay, that's your internal audience. So when you post on your club or your farm's page, the content mainly goes to people who already follow you, your members, your exhibitors, your local fans, people who already know and love the Arabian horse. Posts are very valuable because they keep members updated. They keep members informed about things like your show dates, your show schedule updates, stall deadlines, membership renewals. They reinforce that brand identity and sharing those special moments, really showcasing the club's culture. And when you have an active page, it signals a healthy, thriving organization, which is really, really good. But here's the catch, you guys. Posting alone does not grow your audience. Did you hear that? Posting alone does not grow your audience. If you only post, you're just talking to the people who already know you exist. So whereas boosted posts and ads are like inviting new customers to your business, and that's your external audience. So boosted posts, targeted ads, they extend reach far beyond your followers. And that's because ads allow you to choose who sees your message. So you can literally go in and select the age, location, interests, like those target interests, that pets, wellness, fitness, even Arabian horses. And then it's going to serve your post in front of those people. With ads and boosted posts, you can deliver specific invitations, specifically designed for those external newcomers, which is really important. And so a couple of examples are something for a horse show, right? Free ice cream social. Join us Saturday, October 5th at 1 p.m. at the fairgrounds. Free parking, free family fun, a chance to meet an Arabian horse. Or something like, have you ever wanted to pet a horse? Come meet an Arabian this Sunday at 2 p.m. Free admission, perfect for the whole family. Those are great examples of external invitations that you can use an ad to serve to people that have a target interest. So think of it this way, without ads, your external audience may never find you. And without posts, your internal audience is going to feel ignored. And so it's really, really, really important that you have both. So think of this like planning a restaurant's flow. So first, the restaurant needs the foundation, right? That's your website. It's updated, it's welcoming, it's clean. Then you need to create those consistent signs, keeping your internal audience engaged, your regulars engaged, creating those boosted ads, those boosted posts to reach new customers. That's your external audience. And you want to have very clear invitations to people who don't know our language and don't know the Arabian horse. And then you want to mix up content. So you want to have things like posts showing behind the scenes fun, because internal audience loves those kind of things. And then you want to have, again, those invitations inviting people to try something new, because that's your external audience. That's your invitation to your external audience. Then you can add in stuff that does actually signal to both. And you can do things like testimonial type quotes from your members, maybe why they love Arabian horses, or why they love coming to your show, or feature a member highlight or event recaps. Those are great for everyone. It gives your external audience a little taste of what you have to offer, and it also engages that internal audience. But remember, you guys, this is really important. The language and the message to your regulars is not the same that you need to use for your newcomers. So when you start to create some of those posts, they really need to be different. So again, I want to share some examples. Internal regular announcements might be reminder, membership renewals due November 1st, or exhibitors, patterns are posted for Saturday, or congratulations to our youth members on their wins. Those are great highlights that you can use for that internal audience. Then you have your externals, your new customers, and you may create things like bring kids to meet an Arabian horse, free ice cream for the first 100 visitors, or have you ever wanted to try something new? Riding lessons available in your area. Arabians are perfect for the family. Or Arabian Horse Show, free parking, free admission, free barn tours, and family fun this Friday at 6 p.m. at the fairgrounds. Those are great external messages. Those are invitations. And again, the number one mistake made is blasting the same message to both of those groups. So really remember that regulars don't need to know what is an Arabian. They already know that. But newcomers also aren't going to care about exhibitor patterns. So make sure that you have two clear messages. And then what will happen is the magic. And the magic happens when you know who you're talking to, when you have that clear message to your internal and external audiences, when you know how to reach them when you're using posts versus ads, and then what action you want them to take. Do you want them attend, join, renew, simply show up? What action do you want them to take? And that is really when that starts to come together. So then think about the flow as well. So from the first view on social media to the moment someone clicks to your website, to the day that they walk into the horse show or step into your barn, that entire journey is the connection, and that is all marketing. And so every single step matters. And remember, it is no different than running a restaurant, you guys. The product is the Arabian horse. The website is essentially your digital restaurant. It's inviting, it's polished, it's ready for guests. Social media is the sign out front. So it's catching attention, it's pointing people in. You've got that language for both regulars and newcomers. And then that experience that you're offering, the experience that these people are getting at the show or the barn, is the service and the atmosphere. It's like having a good waitress, right? It's what makes people stay, return, and tell others. So marketing is not just about filling the seats one time. That's also so important. It's about building the trust, creating loyalty, making a great experience that these people want to stay, and turning that curiosity into our community. And so we all know that the Arabian horse is magical, but the magic only works when people see it. And that's so important. And so it is truly our responsibility to extend those invitations. And it's not just one, you guys, it's ongoing invitations. having that digital presence, being there, constantly inviting, constantly engaging with our current members, giving them a great service and atmosphere, and then continuing all of that full circle. It is so important because the Arabian horse world is not shrinking. It's truly waiting for us to invite people in. There are millions of people with interest in the horse and interest in the things that the Arabian horse can be like. It's just our job to put those pieces together and send those invites out. So that is what I have for you all today. That's a lot of information in a short period of time, but I would love to hear from our members at this point what they are wondering. What do they want to know? Let's get some discussion going on, Brenna.
Yeah, for sure. So if anybody has any questions, remember, feel free to drop them in the Q&A, or you can ask to be unmuted and we can have a discussion as well. So feel free to do either one of those. I do not see any questions yet at all.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
So
Give some people some time to marinate on this and think on
okay.
this.
I have a couple of people that do want to talk though. So we're gonna start.
Okay.
First is gonna be Mariah Wilson.
Yeah, hi Mariah.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I'm wrapping a horse's foot while I'm listening to this. Sorry. It never ends. This was a great presentation. Thank you so much. And I think it's really important, especially for the club levels, to actually spell all of this out, because most of the people that are doing these things, we are all just a conglomeration of volunteers that don't necessarily have background in a lot of this stuff. And I think that it underserves, what our purpose is as these clubs. And we really do need to be able to be more accessible and define the difference between your target audience of the ones that you already have versus the ones that you're trying to market to. So thank you for explaining all of that and making that super clear. My question is, because we work on this kind of stuff all the time, and I am not nearly as adept at it as you are on Facebook. You guys see my Facebook stuff. But my question is that we are struggling with as a club that others can probably relate to is the payment options. So we have a website and we have a social media, business page for the club. And we're really struggling with what is the best way when you have an organization with multiple board members and, you have a treasurer who needs access, you have your show director that needs access, all these things. We are struggling with a streamlined and easy to use method of online payments so that we can differentiate between memberships that we want to be able to sell online, when people pay for horse shows online or clinics through the club, like it all funnels to our same bank account. Mm-hmm. But we are having to use like Stripe is one of them. And then we have this QR code is one of them. And like, there's all these multiple funnels into our bank account, and it makes it really difficult for us to itemize what the payments are for necessarily, since we also have a software that processes the horse shows. Like, is there a better way that we're just not aware of that isn't Stripe-based or PayPal-based, or pick one or the other? Like, what would you suggest so that we have a singular online payment funnel option that serves all the different purposes of the normal club?
That's a great question, Mariah. I am not entirely familiar with payment services. I will tell you that. I know that there are 100 million options, and that I'm sure that there's something that can be tailored to what you're wishing. And if you're sharing that concern that there has got to be multiple clubs that are having that same dilemma, so I think this is a great topic to bring up.
Yeah, it's got to be all over the place, because everybody's like, and we progress and we grow as things are available, right? So we started off with just a website, and then we got Facebook, and Facebook has these payment options, and then we have our horse show software that has these options. And it seems like it just multiplies the accessibility of taking payments, which is awesome. But then we have all of this revenue stream that our poor treasurer is going, I have 6 reports and none of them line up, and it looks like doubles. And like, has anyone else figured this out?
Brenna, did you have a comment?
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody comment. You can drop it in the chat too if you guys want, if anybody does have a solution. But I know sometimes if there's a way that you can wrap it into your website so it all goes to one place. You can funnel people to one location. That might
Okay.
be helpful. And I know depending on what website platform you're using to host or design your website, a lot of them have options built in. But I don't know anything off the top of my head. But I do know there are, as Lindsay said, there's a ton out there. Trying to figure out which ones are the best fit is always the struggle.
Yeah, I think our website is a Wix-based site, and then obviously we have PayPal and a PayPal button, which I believe goes through like our Facebook, so it goes through a PayPal. I just want to figure out how to simplify it and where it doesn't, like, you can actually make purchases on Facebook without having to go to our HTTP website. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
I
one's
think this is
probably
great.
hard.
I
I was gonna say that one's
There's got
probably
to be a way.
hard to
There's
do
like
both.
super smart people out there that know computers and all this stuff way better than I do. I'm not good at any of it,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
know that there's got to be an answer.
there is an answer. I know that. I will say that the answer is there is an answer. And I think it's great that you brought it up, Mariah, and that it can be looked into. And that may be something that we can talk about in the future. So I very much thank you for bringing that up. And let's do some research and see if there's an option that might be something that multiple clubs could use. So I
Yeah.
think that's great, Mariah. Thank
Or
you
like
for
that
sharing
AHA could even, like, you know, as AHA as an org could be like, here is a recommendation so that,
Mhm.
you know, all of its subsidiary clubs can utilize that payment recommendation system, whatever you want to call it. And then we're all kind of on the same wavelength, and it's a lot more cohesive and streamlined is, I guess, my goal.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think Angie might have, Angie from our marketing department might have a comment on that for you.
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
Brenda.
Yeah.
Hi, Mariah. Thank you for your question. I just wanted to touch on, it is important. I think where you ended up is probably the right way to go, because it is important when dealing with payment systems that it's going to be something that obviously is secure and people
Right.
trust. You're not going to have those issues, because that's something you don't want to have to deal with or have any issues with. But also, I know, a lot of people are really leery of anything that they can't possibly get that money back if it was a scam. There's so many good scams out there, especially on, Facebook and websites and whatnot these days. So I do know PayPal, I think, is really good in that you can definitely, I feel like it gives the person a little bit of insurance or whatever, a safety net if something did go wrong. At least PayPal has your back. But I do think recommendation coming from AHA, especially what would be secure, what the membership would trust and be willing to use is all, I think. And then if we, like you said, if all clubs and everything are using that, then it becomes kind of like the universal thing that everybody's used to using as well. So I
Yeah.
do think that's good, and I'll put that in my notes to talk with Brenda and IT about, and maybe we can get that back out. I'm currently working on some resources for clubs and regions, and that's something too that we could put on that resource as well. So on that page.
So Angie, you're in IT then?
I am not, but we can work with our IT is what I was saying, so we can make sure it's
Oh, okay.
something that would be secure. I would think that would be important, especially if it also comes back to our association at the end of the day as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and it's not really marketing related, but I'm glad that I met you, Angie. Maybe you could help steer me into getting the API integration for horse show software.
Yeah,
I've been trying to get that done for the last year, and
a little bit
not
too.
really.
So I can chat with you. I'll send you an email in the chat.
Awesome. Yeah, let's talk, because I've got a developer and I just used the software for a show that I just did, and I'm telling you, we have to get the integration. I can't use it again, and I don't want to use ShowPro. I'm over BestNest. This is like a user-friendly, this is the way to go, but we need it to be integrated and have that connection. And I'm doing it with all of the stock breeds. USDF is already done. And we've been trying to get it done for like a year, and we keep getting pushed off. So I need to talk to somebody directly.
Okay, I can't make any promises, but I will at least get the conversation going. I'm not sure exactly how to do all that just yet, or what is all involved in that, because I know I myself am having difficulties with getting our API to HubSpot. So, but I do think if it's, I do think trying to do more of these formal recommendations from the association of what other clubs have done and do it successfully might help. If we can all help each other and be a resource to each other, it's only going to be a better,
Well, it just makes us more accessible. And
Right.
that's what I'm trying to say is there is no downside or security issue with having it be more accessible to get more people to participate in the things that we offer that ultimately AHA benefits from.
That's right. That's right.
Financially
Part of
and
that
otherwise.
experience.
Yeah.
It's part of that experience, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
if there's consistency and that there's organization and it gives a flow, that's all good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
very
thank
good.
you.
And I feel like that our clubs are kind of like, we're all these little islands and we're like struggling to be like, this is a great idea. And we try it and none of us know what we're doing. And then ultimately we're not making AHA look appealing or better because we're a bunch of amateurs trying to run a web page. Like
Right. This
we would
is
love to
something
have.
that we are addressing currently, both on the local level and me in marketing. Hopefully, I'm really, really hopeful that I can at least have something started by convention, and then just keep building on it. But Brenna and I are already
Awesome.
here brainstorming on things to add to it based off this conversation. And I was already talking on a local level call in the past about maybe creating a Facebook forum for regions and clubs to kind of be able to use each other as a resource and what's working, and kind of just kind of make that for you guys. So I'll put that on my list of things to roll out as well.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, please keep me in mind. I'd love to be part of that on the developmental level if we can.
Awesome. Yeah. Perfect, Mariah. Great. Wonderful. Glad that you could connect with Angie too. So I did see another question pop up in the chat, and that was any ideas for having volunteers work at a small show or getting volunteers to help with social media? And I think that's a great question. So, I love trading services. I love a good little horse trade, if you will. So things like if someone can help you create content or to volunteer, substituting for a free stall at the horse show, or substituting maybe something with your membership, or there's always things that you can offer, especially with a club, that you could give to someone else. That is always really great. And also just featuring someone, like a featured volunteer, or if you volunteer for so many things, you could get a, Amazon gift card, even if it's $25, some sort of reward back for that is really helpful. But just think outside of the box. It's no different than maybe having some sort of like an employee of the month sort of situation, and volunteer of the month. Give them some sort of reward back for their volunteer. And it doesn't need to be paying, but it gives them some incentive and gives them some highlight for their time. Yeah, Angie, did you have a question?
I was just gonna say exactly what you said. We trade out advertisements sometimes for things, and we trade out things that don't cost you anything, but would cost them a certain amount to be able to do with you. And same with them. And I know some of the big media, if it's content specific and not just regular event staff, some of the major media, they try to reach out to people that are already going to be at the show showing, because then they have their, they're already going to be there. You're not having to pay travel or lodging or anything like that, to get them there. So they're already there, and chances are, if they do that for a living or for fun, they enjoy doing it, and they'd be happy to help promote the Arabian horse, as long as you help, like Lindsay said, promote them on your social media, a free e-blast or whatever that you can do for free that's helpful to them and help to promote their business, just like she said. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe it's a couple of free class entry fees, or, sometimes the power of thank you goes a long way. Just simply having that highlight on your social media, just saying thank you, and they're featured, that's powerful. So I love that, Angie. Trading those services, that's always super helpful.
Awesome. Well, then we also have, I'm gonna go ahead and go to Jenny Johnson. If you want to go ahead and ask your question, Jenny.
Hi. Sorry, I'm in the barn and everyone's arguing. Um, I am in Western Montana, and currently we do not have an Arabian Horse Club anymore, which is really sad. I'm trying to get it started on Facebook right now. And right now I've got a lot of interest, but yeah, it just comes down to everyone just really, really needs to be face to face. So I don't know how I don't really know what my question is there, but maybe just how am I rallying the troops? There are a couple clubs near us that are putting on events, and they are sharing to our page, but there's not very much activity, and it's kind of just me. I tried one meeting and 3 people showed up that I already knew from our
Okay.
previous Arab club.
Yeah.
And Lindsay, I love your videos because I keep sharing them on the Facebook group because we are getting more interest in Arabs in the area. And I really want to focus on education. So just trying to get people in person and to do something is a struggle. And I don't know if maybe it's like I need to pull from someplace farther away to just organize this like herding cats. Um, so that's kind of my first question. But the second thing that I've got that might be easier is I deal with a lot of people all over the country, and every time someone comes in the area, whether it's my normal business or I work in independent film, I'm like, you must come out and meet my horses. And so everyone comes out and meets my horses. They all know they're Arabians. I have one of my horse that's in an independent movie now, and she was great. But then they go away, and I'm like, I need to find you a farm where you are so that you can meet the Arabians and get involved and maybe take riding lessons or something like that in your area.
Mhm.
And I might give them a website or something, but if I'm not there and holding their hand and dragging them out to a farm, I don't think it really happens. So, any suggestions on any of that stuff?
So here's a few thoughts, okay? And this is for multiple clubs, Jenny, but to help you and kind of focus, okay? So first thing, a goal without a vision is very challenging. So focusing on that vision of what do you want to accomplish with your club? Is it that you just want to get more people involved? You want to hold a horse show? You want to hold clinics? You want to, I think actually
Clinics and
bring,
education, really
okay,
big. Yep,
okay,
that's
great.
my focus.
So then let's zero in on that a little bit deeper. So clinics, we want to do education, and we got to put a club together so that it can host these things. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the clinics and the education is really not the hard part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting like people organized and just here is a location we're going to meet at such and such time.
Yeah.
And it was difficult 20 years ago with people just not committing. But yeah, that's just
So
that's my biggest
yeah.
struggle is like I'm trying to do this by myself. Can someone please help me? So, and everyone's really scattered. We're so far apart.
Yeah,
So
in your location.
in my
Yeah.
location, yeah, and we're Western Montana, so we're not as bad as like Eastern Montana, but still, it's like, oh, Spokane's only 3 hours away.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. So this is where if this is your vision, then we've got to pair with another farm, and you're going to have to do some of the legwork to get the
mhm,
initial invitations out to hold an event, to then invite those people in to create a club, because you're not going to just create a club and then go here, now we're going to do these clinics. The clinics and the education is going to create the club. So
mhm.
it's going to be there's got to be a trainer, there's got to be a lesson program that also needs students and customers. And so you can pair with them and have a partnership with them in some capacity and put on a clinic, put on some sort of a live event and invite these outsiders in to come, show them what the Arabian horse is, and then invite them to join your club. Now, the second point is that brings me to a club. So when we talk about a club, it's essentially you're paying for a membership, a subscription, if you will. So I want you all to start thinking about, what do you get for your subscription to your club? What are the things that an individual is going to get, an outsider is going to get? What is that? I don't know if I have the answers to that today, but to start thinking about those type of things, because you pay your yearly fee, you're getting a subscription, becoming a member of this club, and then what is that club doing for you, giving to you? You know, what are you gaining from that? That's what your customers are going to want to know, that are ultimately going to come and be a part of the Arabian horse world. Now, from that, eventually you'll get people who want to give back and volunteer and help the organization grow. But that's a really powerful thing to start thinking about, and how to make your club and to do those type of events, Jenny, enticing to outsiders.
Yeah, we have a local horse park, and I was on the board for a little bit, but then it just got to be the Western riders against the English riders, and everyone was arguing. I'm like, you know what? I just need to focus on Arabian, so I'm gonna step away from that, and so I can potentially organize something and just use the park and do it for a benefit to the park, but just
let's
trying
think
to
of
get
it more. Let's think of it more as, okay, so that's an event that the club holds, but what's the community? So is it we're horse people, we just love horses and we're focused around the Arabian horse? You know, what is the community that you want to grow from these events?
I mean, I think a lot of areas are the same, where a lot of the farms and trainers, I mean, they left or they aged out, and so there was just no one to replace them. So just, you know, people don't know what they don't know, and so that the education part was kind of where I was starting, like, who is interested, and then what would you be interested in, and just trying to build from there. So, but yeah, so I mean, thank you.
I love that. No, you're thinking the right thoughts, Jenny. But instead of thinking who's interested and what would they be interested in, start thinking in, we're interested in the Arabian horse and we want to share with you knowledge about the horse show industry, the breeding world, the fun, family fun with the Arabian horse. You already have the answer to that question. Now it's about putting together those events to invite the people in to build the club.
Yes. Yeah, I've actually found, like, the non-horse people, or the non-Arabian horse people, are a little easier, because I just force them. They're like, look, you can see my horse. And, you know, one question about, like, that's a bay, right? And like, genetics later. I'm like, now you know way more than you thought you needed to. But yes. So
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
is there any other questions that you have, Jenny?
You know, the only other thing is if you have any ideas of these people that are halfway across the country that I would really like to connect to a farm, and just I've even thrown it out on Facebook a couple times. It's like, who is in Virginia that does lessons, or is it a discovery farm or something like that, and I'll get responses, and then I'll tell the people, and I'm like, oh, you need to go to this farm. But you know what, again, if I'm not just there walking them to the farm, I'm almost like, can I have your phone number, and I'm going to give it to this farm and they can reach out to you. I don't know if there's something not stalkery to get people that are in other areas to, like, I know this would be good for you.
Yeah. Well, just like any other business that's looking for leads or customers, right? There's probably going to be some cold calling. There's going to be some searching
Mm-hmm.
as to what farms are in the area. And yeah, it's great to put out a message, who's out here, but there's going to be some actual legwork on the backside of finding those areas. That's a beautiful thing about Google. And then
Mm-hmm.
making some phone calls saying, hey, this is my vision. This is what we're going to target. We want to do education. We're going to be focusing in on Arabian horses, but right now we're open to just sharing horse education as a whole. And we would love to have your farm included. Would you help me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate everything
Yeah.
you guys are doing. It's
You're
great.
welcome. I'm excited for you, Jenny.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other questions?
Awesome. I don't see any others. The last one we have, I think, is going to be Priscilla is the last one with her hand up, unless we have any other
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, Priscilla.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you
We
hear
can
me okay?
hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to say thank you so much. Let me introduce myself really quickly. I'm Priscilla Clough. I'm the chair of the Arabian Horse Association local level committee. Brenna is my staff liaison, and she helped put this together with Lindsay. There's just so many thoughts going through my head right now on where to start with all this, but I mean, I guess I'm going to kind of start with the whole concept of the local level committee, which has, our regional representatives who have to apply, fill out a paperwork and be active and participate in Zooms when possible, that sort of thing. But we started out with $40,000 in grant money from the Marketing Development and Promotion Committee this year, and we had 20,000 last year, and there still is some money available for meet and Arabian horse events. But I thought, okay, this is all we're going to do this year. This is the one thing. And then it became, okay, now we need to work on discovery farms and lesson programs. And so really, really, it should be that the local level committee reps are actually adding to their discovery farms list, lesson programs and things, so we can have everything on the website. But then we kept going, and it became Lindsay with the websites, and we had to back way up and say, hey guys, let's start with trying to get our websites current links, current photos, and current information. And I also wanted to add that Susan Racy has been a big proponent too. She's been on a lot of our calls with she's with the BOD, and just hey, this is really important information that, we have to be able to take not only why, and I think we all know why, but the how, the how to do this, and how to use social media, how to promote our product. And so I just really wanted to say thank you, and to Lindsay and to Brenna. I know that this was kind of like one of our more introductory ones, and that there was, maybe a little more information down the road, at least. Maybe Lindsay's like, oh, but like, there's, some of the stuff she was sharing with us on our local level committee call, and there's possibly more, but that we can educate you guys on how to, the how to, we all know why, but the how to, help get our Arabian horse out there. So I just wanted to say thank you from the local level committee for doing this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priscilla. It's my pleasure. And I truly want to see the Arabian horse succeed, just like all of us here. And there are so many options for us. There are literally, when I say millions of people who have interests that the Arabian horse can merge with, I truly mean that. There are so many people that are just, they don't even know that our world exists, and they would love to be a part of it. And so it comes down to thinking of our club, our farm, our industry more as that restaurant. I mean, it sounds so silly, but I'm going to guess that probably most of us here have gone and eaten at a restaurant before. And if the restaurant's dirty, and if the restaurant isn't organized, or if the restaurant has bad service and serving cold food, we're not going to want to go back. But first, we got to hear about the restaurant. So it's all it all works like that, right? We need to have our website where it's clean, it's organized, it's fresh, it's updated, so that when we go to the restaurant, we feel like, ooh, this is going to be a cool place. And then we need to have our sign out there so that we're getting in new customers. That's our social media. We have millions of people waiting to see what we have to offer. And then we have to make those great experiences. You know, those clinics, those great horse shows, the awesome atmosphere so that people want to stay engaged. And it really is that simple, you guys. It really is that simple. There's a lot of layers to that, but when you can think of it in that complexity, it starts to maybe make a little bit more sense. And that's what we're hoping to get your wheels turning from this and start to give you a little bit of clarity as how this can all work. Yeah, Brenna.
That's awesome. I think we had one more. We wanted to circle back to Mariah had something about the volunteer question that we talked about.
Yeah.
So I was going to circle back to Mariah and then we can go ahead and wrap it up unless we have other questions.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this has just been a great discussion, and this comment that I have kind of circles back to kind of what Jenny was asking about. It also touches on what Lindsay's talking about with creating value within your club and the reason for paying those membership fees and how your experiences actually expose the Arabian horse. So we actually have tapped into, and this has been a huge thing for us locally. We don't have a lot of actual Arabians in our area, but our club is huge. And we make a lot of money off of all of our events because we have collaborated with a bunch of the like therapeutic riding facilities and things like that, where we invite them to our shows and our events. And it serves the purpose of we let them do stuff with our horses. So it changes a lot of the natural perception that I think a lot of the public has that Arabians are crazy and unruly and all these things that we're kind of fighting a battle against. We allow these riders with disabilities to do in-hand trail or lead line barrels where they walk with leaders and someone next to them. You know, stuff like that. Our horses all participate in that, and they're saints, and it's great exposure. Not only that, but these are all organizations that have a vast network of volunteer pools and lots of sponsor and donation money available to them. So when you put an event together that brings those people into that kind of the sphere, you're going to find how much you get sponsorship money, advertisement, tons of volunteers, and then to give back and kind of reciprocate that, we dedicate 10% of our net profits from our events to go to those 501 organizations for therapeutic riding. So that makes more people feel good about giving us money because they know that we're going to give some of it back to those programs. So that's how we have established a really good volunteer pool. And we actually have too many volunteers sometimes, and they're not necessarily horse people. They're just people that want to support an event and things with horses. And this is all passively putting Arabians in front of an audience that might not have potentially considered them. And that's how you end up getting people that might consider buying a horse, becoming a member, all of these kinds of things. So I just wanted to add that in there for the volunteer kind of options. You think outside of just the Arabian horse, there might be only 6 in your area.
Arabian member.
Yeah, that's the
Think
great.
about the other people that you can kind of
get to.
Yeah, wonderful thoughts and ideas, Mariah. I love that. I'm glad that you brought that up. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I think those are wonderful ideas. Definitely get some outsiders in and get some volunteers and showcases the horse in a different capacity, all while helping. I think that's wonderful and fabulous. Yeah, Angie.
I just wanted Mariah to note that in the Q&A, so I think Anya Gitman, I think that's for Mariah. Is that right, Anya? To copy her on any pay issues, and she'll ask her investor friends, or maybe they can help you with the API thing. I just wanted you to catch it before we close this, and you don't.
This is, I see. Let's see.
Yeah, she said.
Hagen.
Yeah, well, that's in the chat, but then can you see the Q&A, or should I put this in the?
No, I can't see it. Can you send me an email with this stuff?
Yes. Well,
I don't think it won't let me type in the chat, but my email is mariah.wilson88@yahoo. Or
Okay.
Brenna has, everybody has my email.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, I think that's all the questions I see that we have. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you, Lindsay, so much for taking the time to talk to us and have some great discussions. This will be, this is being recorded. So if you guys have anybody that missed it and wants to take a look and listen to this webinar, it will be on the AHA video library. And then also, if you want to ever come back and watch it again to kind of get a refresh and maybe get some more information, that'll be available on there as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to appear tonight and be a part of our discussion. And we are all on Team Arabian Horse. We want to see it succeed. We can make it succeed. And I'm excited to be a part of this and continue helping and see our wonderful, amazing horse grow. So thank you again.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.